Welcome to Jenkins and Jonez on the Volume Podcast Network. It's Thursday, April 8th. We got a big show for you. We're talking Paul Pierce, Hubert Davis, LaMelo, Invincible, Mr. Hubert. We're gonna do a blow your mind, and we're gonna crown our first Booger Boy of the week, which I'm very excited about.
Big Booger Boy vibes.
As always, Jenkins and Jonez is hosted by my good friends, LeJethro Jenkins, aka John.
What's up, guys?
Dragonfly Jones, aka Tyler.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm Mike, aka Gardy B. And let's get into it. Paul Pierce got fired. Why?
Okay, I just want to ask a question. Whomst amongst us hasn't and boo and booty swinging
And
hither and thither? And whomst amongst us wouldn't want to take
Whomst amongst us.
Whomst. I feel like the man was just enjoying himself. He was getting a haircut. You know what I mean? Like, dog, it's unnecessary. The reaction. I know it's Disney, but the reaction is unnecessary to me.
So I assume everyone's seen this, but Paul Pierce was on his IG Live getting his haircut. I think we talked about this on the last show. Had some strippers over, some OUI''D weed in the air.
Legally?
Legally. And then ESPN fired him. I think, did they try and say it was because they were violating COVID protocols? But we know, I mean, obviously
that's the out right there.
I think that might have been the out. I don't know. But Paul Pierce didn't seem too worried about it. He posted himself on his stories smiling and everything. It kind of feels like maybe they were getting ready to part ways anyway, and this just happened to be it. I don't know. What do you think, Tyler?
I definitely think that's the case. Paul Pierce looked like a man who either he knew his time was up or he didn't give a shit about making his time be up in that situation, right? Like, you know, you don't fucking go to Instagram Live with fucking strippers and weed if you're a fucking ESPN employee who's serious about keeping your job. So, yeah, I definitely think that was probably Paul Pierce playing chess instead of checkers, as they say.
He wanted to go out in the back with a bang. You know what I mean? He was like, fuck it. You know
For
what I
his
mean?
315 IG Live viewers.
Right? Like 315 viewers, bro. Like, we can trace the person who brought that shit to Twitter and ruined or played into Paul Pierce's plan, however you want to say it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Honestly, 315 isn't bad, though. I'll see popping ass people with like 73 people on their shit. And I'm like, dog, you got 80,000 followers.
Paul Pierce is the greatest Celtic since Bird, though. Like 300, though, for that. Like, bruh.
I don't know. Best wishes to Paul Pierce. You know, I'm sure. I saw he already had a job offer to live commentate for a porn site or something. So to host a basketball show for a porn website.
What is okay? A basketball show. Okay, I was wondering what.
I didn't look too deeply into the job offers that Paul Pierce is fielding from porn companies.
Oh Lord.
Speaking of.
That's even too far for Jenkins and Jonez to go. We can't even go that far.
Yeah.
You know, we'll steer clear of that. You know what I mean?
We got enough other shit going on.
Right.
ESPN released their list of the best 25 under 25 in a very obvious troll job. They had Luka at number 1, Zion at number 2, LaMelo Ball at number 3, Donovan Mitchell 4, Jason Tatum 5, and De'Aaron Fox at 6. Congrats to them on the troll. It appears that it worked. We're talking about it. So
I will say this on basketball alone, Melo is in top 5. But you add a little bit of Tiana Trump in there. You know what I mean? Standing on the hard work of Tiana Trump. You know what I mean? The man is at least 3. I'm gonna say that. You know what I mean? And I want to say this. People were talking shit up. Good for Melo. Get all the thought out while you young, bro. Part of the dream, that's part of the dream. You know, you want to be in the NBA. You also want a Tiana Trump, too. You want to have these experiences. Good for Melo. You know what I mean? Run that
Funny is,
vagina.
what's funny is a friend of mine told me
Run it up.
that she had on her
Hey,
IG
Mike,
stories.
Mike,
What's up?
Mike, your mic is cracking.
You said what? What happened? What happened?
What's it? Did it just start?
Yeah, it just started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just started. Get your knee off them cords, boy.
Why? You nervous under there? What's going on?
I haven't touched anything. It's still fucked up.
Right now, it's okay.
Nah, you,
Goddamn Movo, man.
Good.
We need to write a scathing
fucking
review
move.
to Movo.
No, I haven't been moving.
No, you're good right now.
Okay.
What? Just say the point you were just making.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay.
A friend of mine who follows Tiana Trump on Instagram mentioned to me that in her stories she was at the Hornets game, and it did occur to me that maybe that's why she was at the Hornets game. Then I wake up the next day and see LaMelo linked to Tiana Trump. So, like you said it, John. I mean, good. Like, you're 19 years old in the NBA, bro. Like, that's what you've been thinking about, dog. He said it. He's not worried about playing against LeBron James. He's not worried about that.
Right. His hands broke,
Yeah, but I feel like ESPN caught everybody, with the loaded meaning of potential, right? Because you can put LaMelo up there because he's got so much more work to do. Like, we've seen such great flashes from him, but then you put a guy like Devin Booker down on the list because he won't get much better than he is right now, right? Like, Book is like a 25-point per game guy flirting with 50-49. You know what I mean? Like, he won't cap out much higher than he is now. So that's kind of how they get you with the trolling, because, kind of hoping that people just, get reactionary about how is LaMelo over Book? And that's exactly why. I
mean, even Jaylen Brown, who's having an incredible year. He's been solid the last 2 years. He's only 24. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like the dude's up. At one point he was close to 50-40-90. I think he's dipped down to like 38 3-point shooting, which is not bad. But like, dog, I mean, come on, man. Like, they know exactly what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. They put LaMelo on the graphic for the list, but
highlight the troll.
But I do also agree with what Tyler's saying. I mean, it says it's based off future potential. You could make an argument to me that LaMelo ends up with a top 5 career among those guys. That wouldn't be. Yeah. I wouldn't be particularly surprised by that. You can make that argument to me. He's not one of the top 5 right now, but based off future potential.
Is that what the purpose is for? Okay, I just saw the.
Yeah, see the fine print. That's how they get you.
The fine print based off future potential. The NBA's best 25 under 25. Best off. You know what I'm saying? Like, they whispered the other part. Okay. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
The headline 72-point font. The fine print size 12.
That's
Arial.
size 3. That's size 3.
2.5.
72 font, you know what I'm saying? Bold, and you know what I'm saying? They got that's 3 font.
Hold the kerning in, really shrink it down.
Right. That's their release valve. But we set off potential, guys. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't see it right here in the fine print. They got me. They got me with the shit. But anyway.
Goddamn sports outlets resorting to insurance fraud paperwork. Like, imagine what the fuck is happening with us, bro. Goddamn.
That's what happens when
goddamn swoop and swap journalism, bro. What the fuck?
That's what happens when everybody's hurt.
Right.
Everyone's got to run some kind of scheme. Because you said it before we started talking for the show, Tyler. Like, this is a July post, bro.
Yeah, that's a baseball season ass post, dog. What the fuck?
That's not supposed to be an NBA, home stretch just after the NCAA tournament. Like, there's sports on right now.
Yeah. They dropped that motherfucker in the midst of playoff seeding battles, right? Like that's the best story they could come up with. God damn.
That is the best story they could come up with. This shit's been boring lately, bro. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurt, bro. You know what I mean? Like, Brian, you know what I'm saying? Harden's out. You know what I mean? Like, Embiid just came back. You know what I mean? Like, Steph has been like, he has the tailbone injury. You know what I mean? Where like he's grimacing. He had a great game last night, though. He looked great. You know what I mean? Against the Bucks.
Yeah, 41 spazzed out.
I want to ask y'all a question about Steph real quick, then we can move on or whatever. Do y'all think Steph should still be playing? I mean, they're playing for 10th He had 42 points to win by 1 point to stay in 10th place. That's
they got blessed by 50 fucking 3 the other night
against the Raptors without Steph. They're fucking horrible without. They're impossibly bad without Steph.
I think he should be playing, bro. I mean, I think if you're healthy, you should be playing. He's got career records he's thinking about, right?
Okay. I get it. But I mean, like, he's grimacing while playing. We're seeing that he's in pain. You know what I mean? And, you're already struggling without.
I mean, we can't forget that, this is, that we've got the play-in now. Like, right, if he gets that 9th seed and if he fucking goes stupid in that game, like, he's fucking immortalized even more. You know what I mean? Like, Warriors Nation will love him even more for that.
He goes stupid, then they get their ass whooped in the first round, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
of course, that's how it would play out. Right. But if Steph can take this team to the playoffs, like, that's a huge fucking notch in his belt as far as, legacy building.
Yeah, I mean, a team that lost by 50 to the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? I agree.
There's always that one crowd of NBA fans who thinks that the MVP should go to the guy whose team sucked the most ass while they were injured. You know what I mean? It's like, this just proves how valuable Steph really is.
I was listening to a pod and somebody just said that if we're going off the letter, we're going off, like, what the MVP really is.
The letter.
The letter of the law. You know what I mean? Like, I just heard a podcast.
Yeah, I know y'all seen that crazy stat that says some shit like the Warriors with Steph are like the 13th best offensive team in the league, and without them, they're like the 5th worst offensive team in the league all time. Have y'all seen that stat?
But that's with crazy. Them, they're scoring like with him, they score on average. Like this year, they're scoring on average with on par with other average teams. He's not. So it's not. I mean, it's a big difference, obviously. But I get what you're saying, though.
They scored 77 points against the Raptors without him. Like,
what the fuck is that?
Struggling Raptors team too. Like, this ain't the Raptors that we're used to seeing over the last few years. But yeah, the
Raptors
bad.
Team turned around and got drubbed by the fucking Lakers without any of the Lakers.
What do you think about that OG joint? Like him and Schroeder. How do y'all feel about that? You see the little dust up that everybody was over fucking exaggerating. I just love that OG like picked him up in the night, like he sunned him in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
It's like he accidentally,
because he could have made shit real ugly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could have made shit real ugly for Schroeder, but he wanted to let him know that I could have made it ugly for you, but I'm giving you some grace right now. Yeah.
Bro, like he could have the way he picked him up, the man could have slung him probably a good 6 to 8 feet. He could
have shot with it. He could have discus thrown that motherfucker.
Hung the hell out that man, you know what I mean? And then Schroeder had to jump up and act mad. But when a man pick you up off your feet, you really don't. By
your waist at that. He had that man horizontal to the ground by his waist. You gotta at least act like you want to fight after that, even if you don't want to, bro.
And then ever so like gently laid him down, like controlled his weight. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, dog, it's just he deadlifted the man on some like chill shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I thought that was so funny how kindly he sunned the hell out of Schroeder, but they got the W.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler's right though. If someone basically turns your body into a carnival ride, you have to stand up like you're gonna hit him. And
he had to, but like I get why he did it. It's just it was just funny. It wasn't like it's got spicy over here with the Lakers and the Raptors. It was just like something funny really happened.
Yeah.
I get all of it in both sides. Nobody was wrong.
Because he did look like
you had a motherfucker who was dedicated to scarves do that to you. Like OG's whole shit is he is a scarf man. That motherfucker loves hand knitted scarves, and that he almost ended your whole fucking world right quick, but then let you know he was extending grace to your ass.
A man that's that confident in scarves has to be a very strong man, though. You know what I mean? Because it's like I can whoop the brakes off your ass. I can wear a scarf. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm Bam Bam out here. You know what I mean? Come try your boy.
He probably would have slingshot that motherfucker if he had a scarf around his neck that he could have just whipped off. Like he would have sent that motherfucker to the moon, dog.
Oh, good God, man, that shit was funny.
God damn, Shro.
Yeah.
You might have to dye your whole fro black, bro. That blonde streak. OG might have took that blonde streak from you,
Hey,
dog.
you lost the right to wear blonde, bro. We need you all black.
We need you all blacked up. We need you out here looking for revenge, dog.
Right.
All blacked up, ready to pull some kick nose,
You can't
bro.
be up here thrown in the air with a blonde streak, dog.
I'm gonna flip that. He might need to go all blonde. He might need to go all blonde, actually.
Nah.
Demolition Man shit. He might need to let motherfuckers know. You know, I'm on some Wesley Snipes 92 shit right now. After you just tried.
Right, nigga, nerve martial
Goddamn,
arts,
Shro.
that, bro. You need some self-defense lessons, dog. That dude had you off your feet, bro. Off your feet and arms. You were sideways by another man. How you let another man turn you?
Horizontal. Motherfucker turned you into a sunset, bro. You were horizontal, dog. You were horizontal with that one streak of blonde sunlight.
Horizon, dog. Bro, shave it off. You gotta just start over. No hair.
You can't even draw that shit black. Just plug. We gotta see that plug, bro. We gotta know you are repenting for your sins right now.
Shave the blood. Just shave the blood.
He said he printed him out in landscape orientation, bro. Fuck.
That man, no. Start doing military pressures with a grown. People do that to their children at barbecue. Oh, Jonah said, he had that man like this. Oh shit! That man was on the ride. Motherfucker's stupid as fuck. You owe that man $20. You got to pay him six-flag prices for that shit, dog.
Yo, you either owe $18 or like 32 tickets, bro. You gotta pay.
Right? Did that come with a fucking turkey leg, my nigga? Did you get a turkey leg while you was there, Schroeder?
A funnel cake?
Nigga, you got a funnel cake. Oh shit! Oh shit!
God damn!
Oh shit! That nigga,
I got tears in my eyes, man.
And then jumped up like, "Hold up, nigga! Do it again, OG! Do it again!"
No, that only needed to happen to you once in your life, bro. Nothing will ever be the same for you, dog.
Do that again, bro.
Oh my god!
Oh god! Oh, that's why he was so mad, because he liked it. He had fun, dog. I would have had a blast, dog. That looked fun as hell. That looked fun as hell. He should have shook the man's hand afterwards. Thank you. Oh shit. Oh man. Tyler said he turned him into a sunset.
That's exactly what it like with that blonde streak, bro. Perfectly shining on the horizon.
If somebody took a picture, it'd be a fold-out picture, bro, of the fucking magazine. You need full fold-out, 4 pages to show the whole fucking image, nigga. That nigga was sideways, dog.
He's the Sports Illustrated centerfold of Rodman laying out for the Superman rebound, but he was just with a hand on his waistband. Like luggage.
Yes.
He was carrying that man. Schroeder was keeping his feet all with glee.
God damn.
Oh shit. They need to fire that nigga up in the locker room. I do know that.
That's so hard. My nose is sweating. God damn.
I guarantee you, Kuz went at least as long as we did on that shit.
He had to. I know he was eating in there, dog. Schroeder he probably wanted to fight after that game. Woo.
All right. North Carolina has hired its next basketball coach as we go from the frying pan into the fire here with Hubert Davis.
Hubert doing some Hubert ass shit.
Oh boy, we about to light Hubert ass up too.
Of course,
Hubert,
you done fucked up. We in our groove right now. We about to light your ass up.
That motherfucker Hubert. We were all tapped in for the point too, and I'm happy.
Fucking Hubert.
My wife is white.
All right, hold on. Okay. So
Hubert
Hubert Davis is asked about the significance of being the first Black coach at North Carolina. We talked on the last show. Tyler is a lifelong North Carolina fan. He talked about that being because his dad grew up watching North Carolina with the first black player in the ACC on the floor. So he talked, I thought, really poetically about the significance of that. That I think he said he's just the fourth black head coach in any sport in the history of the university.
Yep.
The first
Right.
basketball coach.
Basketball coach. Yep.
And the floor is yours.
That man took.
And then shit took a nosedive. Yeah.
Where do you start, Tyler?
Yeah, so as right, I know there's so much to unpack here. I feel like, you know,
and we can't go
I was
like,
like, you know, it just felt so. Hey, we might have to, because this shit was ridiculous. But on a serious note, it just felt like you didn't need to. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your wife, of the family you've created, but it felt like he juxtapositioned that after all the talk about how proud he was to be an African-American coach, and, you know, the fourth black coach at UNC, the first black coach at UNC basketball. And then he wanted to remind us that, you know, he had a white wife and a multiracial family. And it felt like, why do, like I think there's something you need to ask yourself, if after professing how proud you are to be black, if you point to how close you are to white people to kind of reassure people or whatever that you're not threatening or whatever. You know, that's what I got from it.
It was almost,
you know what I mean?
Saying, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it just felt like if that was a big but, like, I'm black, but I love white people. Bro, you don't need to qualify you being black with that. You know what I mean?
I'm black, but I'm not a nigga. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm black, but I'm not that.
It's
black,
like you
right?
talking about, I'm so happy to be, you know what I'm saying, an African-American, to be black. First of all, African-American. Tyler, when have you ever called yourself?
That's what I know. I have never called myself that. And people think that people who call themselves that are trying to distance themselves from their African lineage. That's not the case at all. Very proud of my African lineage. You know what I mean? But I know that when I hear people say African-American, they are usually trying to fucking pacify white people because black sounds too threatening you know, in their mind. So I've always identified as black. And usually when I hear heavy African-American talk, my fucking fuck shit radar goes up. And Hubert did not disappoint, bro. Right?
Bro, we didn't know it was coming with him. I'm happy to be African-American, but, you know what I mean? Like, it was like he was saying he's happy to be black.
Damn.
And then distance himself from black people. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make
right.
Like, I don't know in what world, like, how did that make sense? How did that make sense at all to be like, but, you know what I mean? I'm happy that my wife is white, unless he was doing what you were saying, Tyler, unless he was trying to appease people that might, you know what I'm saying, not be comfortable with him being the first black coach in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, I have been playing the game of how could he have rephrased this to not, you know, sound like a, you know, sound like the fucking buffoon that he sounded like, right? And there's nothing I can come up with. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with being proud of your wife or being proud of the family you made, but there's no need to, but there's no need to, I'm black, but, and then put that as the qualifier, you know, in juxtaposition to you being black.
There's a big difference between talking about bringing your family into a program when you get hired as a head coach, which happens at every college press conference where a coach gets hired, and speaking the words, but I'm also proud of my white wife. Like,
I mean, he said that, bro. Go ahead, Tyler. Go ahead.
It's like, you know, it felt like he just turned it into a trophy in that moment. You know what I mean? Like it's a fucking merit of achievement or some shit. You know what I mean? Is that the vibe y'all got from it? Like,
no, it was
like he could have said so many other things, right?
Right. I'm African American, but
he could have said so many other things. Like I'm so proud of my wife. Right. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, he could have said so many other things, like, you know, I'm proud of you know, I'm black and I'm proud of my wife and the family that we've created. And then we could have probably had to hit Google and find out what exactly he was talking about. But he made sure to kind of distance himself from the blackness with the white wife part. You know what I mean?
When I heard it, I flat out, like, audibly.
So yeah, it was just weird all around.
Oh, just weird. And it was gross. And I was just like, like I audibly said yuck, like in a room by myself, like yuck. Like why would you? What was the what is this? What is the purpose of this? You know, like it's weird.
Where are we going with this? Yeah.
Where are we going? Why? You know, unnecessary.
Well, congrats to Hubert
Doing some
Hubert.
Hubert for sure. Ski.
What,
Congrats on his job and his white wife. Congratulations, my guy. Shit.
So we wanted to talk about DMX. You know, for a couple days now has been fighting. You know, in the hospital. Sounds like we're not going to speculate, but you know, it sounded like was reported. I think that you know he'd had an OD, and is on life support right now. And Tyler, you sent us last night a tweet thread that I'll post on the Jenkins and Jonez Twitter account below this episode because I really thought it was like, honestly, one of the most beautiful things I've ever read on Twitter about this just random person who I've never heard of before. You'll never hear ever again. Her life just sort of crossing paths with DMX on an airplane and the relationship that came out of that. And I don't know. I just, Twitter's not great for most things at this point, but it is a special place for those kinds of stories that you're not, that woman would never have been interviewed by the news. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe it's the last redeeming thing about Twitter. You get these sort of public shared moments like that, but it was definitely really special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was beautiful, man. Like, you know, I sent y'all that shit in the group chat, and I don't want to spoil it for the people who haven't read it because it's a really special fucking ride. But going to DMX, man, it's just, you know, it's this shit breaks my heart, bro, because it's like DMX, you know, sometimes, you know, shit like this happens and you hear the whole, you never know what people are dealing with. We knew with DMX, you know what I mean? Like DMX is someone who came to us soul bared wide open from his very introduction, you know, back in the fucking late 90s. Right. And it's just someone who I think, you know, if you were there for DMX's, you know, ascension from when he dropped in fucking 98 and all that, and just followed his career, like he's a rapper you always rooted for on like a personal level because he was so personal in his music. You know what I mean? And then this shit just, I don't know, man, it fucks me up. I'm praying for the best though. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'll pass it off now.
You said it in the group chat. You know, I mean, he's had one of the greatest rap careers in history, and you still feel like the dude got a raw deal. You still feel like he got a raw deal, though, just because of the way he grew up and the amount of pain that he had in his life. And I've always been rooting for him. I mean, I obviously loved him as a rapper, but I always root for anyone who's struggling with addiction. And we've had, you know, plenty of people in my family who've not fought that and not been able to overcome it. But it's just it's an evil part of the world that people are going to profit from that sickness. You know what I mean? And find a way to make money off of people who are in pain. I think this stuff happened with DMX just a week or two after Ryan Leaf, who I could not possibly give less of a fuck about as an athlete. But he posted something about, you know, he very publicly bottomed out and has, you know, was saying he's now 9 years sober and on the road to recovery. And that was as heartening to me as the tweet thread we were mentioning about DMX, because it's not fun. It's not easy. You know, I mean, it's just, and you could be 9 years sober and still fuck your life up. And I think that's part of what's been so painful to me following DMX's story is he's had that classic cycle of pulling himself out of it and looking like things are going to get better. And it's just hard, man. I mean, it's hard whether you're a rapper, you're an athlete, you're just a human being. It's hard. When listening to his music, you really, like you said, he's very relatable. You know what I mean? You hear the mental struggles, you hear the struggles, you know, he like you said, he laid himself bare on his albums. And it's just wild to see those same things he struggles with, you know, I put him in this situation, you know what I mean? And like I was talking about how like he was, you know, the dude he's so blessed. Like it's kind of like Tina Turner, where, you know what I mean, where she said that you know, the good did not outweigh the bad. You know what I mean? And that was like, wow, to think about Tina Turner, somebody that's
that's experienced so much greatness in her life and so much success,
Mhm.
still talked about how difficult her life is, and it's just, you know, he struggled had so much blessings, and it just doesn't seem like somebody that blessed should struggle so much as well. And it just, it's been hard to watch in these last few years, you know, like the back and forth. But yeah, it's just sad. Like, yeah, it's such a sad
And look,
situation.
we hear from people all the time who are in college who listen to this show, and the thing I just speak directly to you, if you're a younger person listening to this, chase whatever you're trying to chase professionally, but don't equate that with fulfillment or happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there is no world where you're going to succeed as an actor, you're going to succeed as a rapper or writer or whatever, and it fixes all the other shit. It doesn't happen like that. If it didn't happen for DMX and Tina Turner, it's not going to happen that way for you. So chase your own peace of mind too.
I just like, I want to erase the idea of a dream job. Like, I'm not dreaming to be working. You know what I mean? Like, there's good and bad with all of this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and as somebody that has a job that I really love, there's a lot of challenges I still have to deal with. You know what I mean? So yeah, like if I would approach things differently, you know, I could have been just as happy as I am now. You know what I mean? But capitalism makes you think that type of shit, that I need these things, and like, no, man, like it's the things that'll make you happy are you'll not find at work. It's just not what's gonna, you know what I mean? It's just not what's gonna happen. But
right.
Like you said, if Tina Turner and DMS couldn't find it, you know, but yeah, it's just, my dream job is to do nothing. Nothing is my dream.
Exactly.
That's my dream. You know what I mean? That is my dream job. Is not
doing whatever the fuck I want to do is my
dream. Wake up every day and I decide how my day goes every single day. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, you're not going to find, you know, the answer to all your problems in what you do in your career, you know, in labor. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen.
All right. Time to move on to something fun, which in my opinion is the most fun thing on TV right now. Tyler, I know we're both huge fans of Invincible, which is on, I think it's on Prime, right? I completely lose
it's
track
on
of where
Amazon.
It's on
Amazon fucking Prime.
I just lose track, man. Like, I don't know. For whatever reason, it was always easy for me to remember channels as a kid, but I turned into a 75-year-old man while we're streaming some shit. Like, is this one on Disney? Is this one on Netflix?
Yeah. Hey, we got to shout out Prime, because I remember Prime was whack as fuck. And I would be like, yo, Amazon Prime has a video service. Why am I never watching anything on this? You know what I'm saying? And now like they're making strides here. So shouts to Amazon, you know, the worst fucking corporation in the world, for stepping y'all shit up on some home entertainment.
Doing something with all that damn money they got. You feel me?
Yeah.
Right. The fuck?
100%. So thank you to you for bringing this to my attention, because I totally missed it. John, have you watched it yet?
I haven't watched a fucking second of that shit.
Okay, all right. Well,
I feel like we shouldn't even spoil the first. We shouldn't even spoil the first episode.
We won't even talk
because
about
the first episode is
what's it about? What's it about? I mean, yeah. What's it about?
It's about a teenage high school kid who's the son of a superhero who's growing into his superhero-ness. But like I said, that's like the subplot, because the real plot is revealed episode 1, and I can't spoil that shit for you because it's such a oh shit fucking moment. Yeah, you know. So
I mean, y'all can spoil it. I don't mind shit getting spoiled.
No.
Okay.
Listen, like,
we don't want to spoil it for the listeners either, though. So.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And I don't even, to be honest with you, I'm glad no one spoiled it for me. I've actually read, I think the first, we have the first 100 issues of the comic, and I've read them. It's one of my favorite comics ever. But the order that things happen in the show is very different than the order things happened in the book. So I was completely caught off guard by the first episode as well. And what I would say about the show and the comic, John, is it's just a much more, you know, like you read or you see the origins of Spider-Man. He gets his superpowers. He's 15, and you know, there's still bullies, and he's like, I can't let the bullies know I'm Spider-Man, or something might happen to Aunt May. And even as a kid, you're like, nah,
the brakes
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not gonna beat the fuck out some people, right? Yeah.
Right. So Invincible, the show and the cartoon, it's a much more realistic look at how you would respond to getting superpowers at 15 years old. You know what I mean?
That sounds very interesting. I'll definitely tap in for sure.
But it's a lot of fun. It's definitely different from anything else that's out there. And it's like big, bright, colorful, fun superhero shit. So
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon did great with, was it Brother? Is that what it's called? Brothers or
The Boys?
The Boys?
The Boys?
Yeah.
I know you guys like The Boys.
Oh yeah, The Boys is phenomenal, dog. I love that shit.
You know what I mean? That's one of my I liked. That's the oddest superhero shit I've ever seen, and I loved it. So yeah, I'm down. I'm down to check it out, guys. I'll give it a whirl. You know what I mean?
Dropping new episodes every Friday on.
Yeah, give it a look. See,
Prime.
let us know what you think.
For sure. I'm down.
Okay, we've got to talk about our own Tyler Perrier made the list with Mashable on the top Twitter accounts on NBA Twitter to follow. So congrats, bro. We're proud of you.
Very proud of you. And that's a difficult list to make. So I mean, obvious you should have made it, but like that's a difficult list to make. You know what I mean? Like there was no fat on that list. You know what I mean? And you right there.
Yeah, listen, bro. They put me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They put me front page with America is Musty, and the tweet they referenced was a fucking deep cut Osama bin Laden, Terry Rozier reference, right? like I'm like, what the fuck is Twitter even anymore, dog? But yeah, that was cool, man. You know, I appreciate. You know, like I said, I'm someone who enjoys my haters, and I'm sure that there's some people like, oh, why is he on this fucking list? I love that there are some motherfuckers who are out there mad and who are sick to their stomach about it.
Man,
I also appreciate the love.
Everyone's happy for you, bro. Everybody loves you, Tyler.
Oh no, not what? No, Mike. Everyone does not love me. Like I got so many why is this guy on here in tweets. But like I said, I love the hate. The hate is fun. I enjoy that shit because I don't give a fuck about you, and deep down you don't really give a fuck about me either. You know what I mean? So let's just have fun with this shit.
But they definitely give more of a fuck about you than you give a fuck about them.
Then I give a fuck about them. Right.
And you aren't just on the list, nigga. You are on the fucking you are mellow on the fuck. You know,
I'm the bold face LaMelo on that motherfucker. Yeah.
You're the troll graphic.
Right.
You're the troll graphic.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, America's Musty in bright fucking letters. Dragonfly Jones, neon letters. You know what I mean? Hey, you weren't just on the list. You know what I mean? You were the list, Tyler. You know what I mean? But
I am the list.
That's gonna be our new compliment when Tyler's killing. It's gonna be like, you're looking real mashable right now, bro. You're looking very mashable right now.
That's our mashable man right there. Look at him go.
Oh shit. Okay, we're introducing it's sort of a new segment. We are, by popular demand, thank you to those of you who are tweeting at us to actually do this. We brought up when we were talking about Jim Boeheim's booger excavating and eating habits, the idea of doing a Booger Boy of the week. And I don't know, we may not find a sponsor for it. It is out there, you know, Mucinex, Kleenex, whoever the fuck.
I'll let us Mucinex,
you know,
Claritin, all that.
I'll let us. We got all the booger eaters you want,
all
bro.
that booger eatery allergy shit. We ready for you. You feel me?
So every week, we're certainly happy to take nominations. If we disagree, we'll throw it out there for a poll. But I think for week one, we're all on the same page that Draymond Green is the inaugural Jenkins and Jonez Booger Boy of the week. Draymond put his foot in his mouth and I guess in his nose as well in talking about WNBA players not getting paid enough because they weren't organizing their narrative and a bunch of other stuff. Megan Rapinoe called him out and said he made himself look like an ass. And The Onion had one of the all-time Onion fatalities with the headline that said, Draymond Green, if WNBA players want to get paid, they should just hitch themselves to a once-in-a-lifetime shooter.
What's crazy is he got three of them motherfuckers. He got three of them once-in-a-lifetime shooters, too. That motherfucker.
Yeah.
Swinging off there. You feel me? But hey, yeah. Booger Boy of the week. What can you
I feel like The Onion I feel like The Onion is like that one quiet kid in the class who will just light your ass up after everyone has finished lighting your ass up, and there's like a moment of silence, right? Like that's what the Onion is, and they just came up the top rope with the elbow drop with that motherfucker. So shouts to the Onion, man.
I think they're the kid that doesn't even
Perfect.
laugh. They just say it, and that's the only thing they've said.
Yeah.
It's a banger, and then they go back to not giving a fuck about nothing that's going on. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
That's a perfect analogy. That's exactly what they did. And I would add, by the way, we're all looking forward to Draymond's analyst career in the future. Nothing.
Oh, no
Draymond.
doubt.
It's just,
He took a
everyone's
left turn.
If the show goes indefinitely, eventually everyone in the universe will be the Booger Boy of the week.
Mhm.
So it was his turn first. And, congrats to him. He made history.
The inaugural Booger Boy. Congrats, Draymond. Or
no
or
booger
not
like your
congrats. I don't
first
even know
booger.
what the fuck.
We really got a Booger Boy.
There's no
out here,
booger like
dog.
that first
We
booger.
out here, we out here picking Booger Boys, dog. Grown men. I love being an adult.
That's great. Absolutely terrific. Okay, we're gonna close. We haven't done a blow your mind segment in a couple weeks, which I guess means that Tyler's history tidbits will be up soon. But for the blow your mind, I'm gonna read a brief passage, another one from The Ends of the World, the book I referenced earlier about a history of mass extinctions. There have been 5 mass extinctions on planet Earth. We may or may not be living through the 6th one right now as you're listening to this podcast.
Stay tuned.
But this writer, this
Don't
was
be
the
playing
reason
about that shit.
What's that?
Don't be playing about that shit.
I mean, it
I
doesn't
don't
matter
want
whether
no-
I take it seriously or not. It's either happening or it's
but
not.
come on, man. Let's positive energy, guys. Come on.
All right. This
Get
is
good vibes at a fucking extinction level of in a way, bro. If we in that motherfucker, we in that motherfucker, dog.
We can try though, Tyler. We can try.
actually, if you read the book,
You get bad juju.
Let me
fucking,
tell you
yeah.
that we cannot. At one of the mass extinctions, the whole planet was covered in 2.5 miles of lava deep. 2.5
damn.
miles deep of
Okay.
lava.
Continue with this. I'm really interested in this.
Okay, so Peter Brannon is the dude who wrote this book, and the way I heard about it and picked it up was he wrote so poetically about the asteroid that hit the Yucatan Peninsula and killed all the dinosaurs that I said I got to find out what the fuck this dude is about with the rest of this book. So here's his description of that asteroid hitting the planet Earth. The meteorite, it said, this is a scientist that he's interviewing saying this. The meteorite itself was so massive that it didn't notice any atmosphere whatsoever. It was traveling 20 to 40 kilometers per second, 10 kilometers to 14 kilometers wide, pushing the atmosphere and building such incredible pressure that the ocean in front of it just went away. And then he says, these numbers are precise without usefully conveying.
Wait, say it again. Say it again. Sorry, say it again. Say it again about the ocean.
Building such incredible pressure that the ocean in front of it just went away. Okay, listen to this. These numbers are precise without usefully conveying the scale of the calamity. What they mean is that a rock larger than Mount Everest hit planet Earth traveling 20 times faster than a bullet. That's so fast that it would have traversed the distance from the cruising altitude of a 747 to the ground in 0.3 seconds. The asteroid itself was so large that even at the moment of impact, the top of it might still have towered more than a mile above the cruising altitude of a 747. In its nearly instantaneous descent, it compressed the air below it so violently that it briefly became several times hotter than the surface of the sun. And then the scientist says, the pressure of the atmosphere in front of the asteroid started excavating the crater before it even got there. Then when the meteorite touched ground zero, it was totally intact. It was so massive that the atmosphere didn't even make a scratch on it. Unlike the typical Hollywood CGI depictions of asteroid impacts, where an extraterrestrial charcoal briquette gently smolders across the sky, in the Yucatan, it would have been a pleasant day 1 second, and the world was already over by the next. As the asteroid collided with the Earth in the sky above where there should have been air, the rock had punched a hole of outer space vacuum in the atmosphere, and as the heavens rushed in to close this hole, enormous volumes of Earth were expelled into orbit and beyond, all within a second of impact. So the writer says, so there's probably little bits of dinosaur bone up on the moon. And the scientist said, yeah, probably.
What the fuck?
Bro,
Them lizards ain't stand a motherfucking chance. God damn.
how the fuck did Earth exist after that? I feel like that shit would just like Earth,
And our
Earth would
ancestors
crack like
survived
an
it.
egg.
Our ancestor, it literally punched into the core of the earth like Godzilla. But can
Bro,
you,
like, but how is Earth like? What happened to make Earth habitable at any point after? Like, what?
Bro,
Like, how did-
that happened to make way for us. We are
bro,
just
I know it
we
made way
are
for us, but what was the process? Like, how does it go from miles deep in
And I-
lava to like now?
that didn't
what
cause
we
the
see
lava.
now?
That didn't cause the lava. So what happened there? That caused eruptions because it hit literally the mantle of the earth. So it caused volcanic eruptions between and literally they modeled out what the earthquakes from this would have been like. The whole earth would have had an earthquake of like a 6 to 7 point magnitude. Like the whole planet, the other side of the planet would have felt it, which is like impossible to try and wrap your head around something. But yeah, Tyler's exactly right. If it hadn't hit the earth, the Tyrannosaurus Rex would still be here. Like the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I mean, I
on-
get that, but how does
Yeah.
it go from what happened to now? Like, I need
little
to.
tiny grubby mammals
Yeah.
were able
it
to
ushered into us. You're right. It ushered into us the ice age of hairy, furry mammals, and we are descended from hairy, furry fucking primates, right? Like,
Right.
our fucking ancestors 300,000 years ago were hairy as fuck. We have just,
Some of us have retained
evolved to not be
said
that.
body hair.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
crazy that it went from like 2 miles deep of lava to an ice age. Like, you know what I mean? To, mammals existing in an ice age. It's just, man, this world been through some shit. I want to sit down and talk to Earth.
I
Me and Earth need to have a
highly
conversation.
recommend this book. The mass extinctions the planet has gone through previously will put a pretty good context of why we should probably stop throwing as much carbon up into the atmosphere as we are like humanly possible to do, because that is literally what caused the ice age. It was like it overheated, and then the earth is effectively an organism. So what does your body
responded.
do when you
Yeah,
overheat? It
yeah,
cools
yeah.
itself off.
Mm.
Anyway, that is our apocalyptic end to very Jenkins and Jonez episode of the pod was potting today.
Oh man, we had some weird shit going on.
Oh, we were prodding like a motherfucker. Goddamn.
That Schroeder shit. Thanks, Schroeder, for riding that ride and letting us enjoy the experience. visually.
Dennis with that
Top
Dennis.
notch
audio.
content right there.
Yeah,
That was,
giving
yeah,
us
that's
that
a fucking
content,
all
my
timer.
dude.
Okay, thank you so much to everyone who's been listening. Remember to rate this show and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, the volume is on YouTube now. We'll be uploading new episodes and clips daily, including some past interviews and moments from all our shows. Go subscribe to our new YouTube channel at youtube.com/thevolume or youtube.com/thevolume, depending on how you choose to pronounce that word. But thanks for fucking with us. Leave us 5 stars. Make sure you tell your friends. And we will see you guys next episode on Monday. Later.
Yeah, peace.
Peace.